How you guys doing? This is Dell from Any Review, and today I'm going to be reviewing wireless transmitters that I got from Temu. Let's get to the product review. So the Temu XLR transmitters, and basically, like I said before, what they do is they make your XLR microphones wireless. And so you can see right here. And usually, if you're any kind of podcaster, or I'm assuming that you have if you're a content creator, if you wanted to use a microphone with XLR cable, you would have to either have an audio interface or you'd have to have a podcast mixer. And so basically, essentially what they do is they allow your dynamic microphone that you would use for your podcast or your content creation to be wireless. Now, I don't know if they work on condenser microphones. Gonna say they don't, because they don't have a 48 phantom power on these things. So I was probably gonna say that they're probably just for dynamic microphones. And so that's just one of the things, that I wanted to kind of mention. I wanted to kind of throw out there. And so the question may be, who are these for? I think these are for anybody who has a podcast, or any kind of content creation, and you want to be mobile, or you oftentimes, you travel, you're not in the same spot for far too long. I think this would be a great product for you to get. A lot of the ones that I looked at, they were from notable companies, or notable reputable companies, were about $99, and that's just for a receiver, which would cover one microphone. I paid $30 on Temu, and it come with two receivers and two transmitters, so which will cover two microphones. And I also so this is $30 on Temu. Some of the ones from reputable companies, 99 to about $4.99, depending on which company you choose to go with. So for me, it wasn't really something that I needed in my setup. Like, my podcast mixer is literally like right here in front of me. I can turn the volume down right here. So I don't really need a transmitter. I'm stationary. I don't. My podcast is not mobile. So in that regards, and if my podcast, in times when we have been mobile with our podcast, we just don't shoot video. We just shoot audio. I think from that aspect, it's a good tool to have. I didn't need it, which is why, to me, I couldn't justify spending the 99 or the 4.99, depending on which company I went with, to buy this. I couldn't justify it. Also, to me and my wife, we are a family of five on one income. I work, my wife stays home and homeschools our children, so I can't justify spending that kind of money for a device I don't need. And someone would say, "Well, Dale, why'd you go out and buy it on Temu for then?" Good question. Many of you guys that watch my reviews, my product reviews, and watch my channel, I'm an audio geek. I'm an audio nerd. I love audio. Anything audio, I love it. Whether it's microphones, small microphones, big microphones, one kind you put in your phone, the kind you put in your laptop, the kind you put in your camera, kind you put in your mixer. I love microphones. I love it. Anything audio interfaces, different kind of cables. I love that stuff. It's like, for me, it's like being a kid in a candy store. I can't decide which one to get, which one I want, which one I want to test. Like, I love it. So for me, I thought $30 was kind of reasonable to get it. I had very low expectations when I got it. Like I said, I actually shooting this video for the second time because one of them died. I was actually like, I was checking out my video before I was about to go edit it, and it was like, oh, the audio on the microphone that I was talking to, it just died. So and this transmitter right here, literally it just died. So, shop from Temu at your own risk. I will say, I don't want to make it sound as a Temu thing. If I was a seller issue, because I shop on Temu quite often, and I've never had a bad experience with Temu as far as the items that I've bought off Temu. I'll say, for every 7 or 8 items I buy on Temu, 2 of them might not work. So what I've learned now is that certain things I'm just not buying on Temu. Like, certain items, I'm just not buying on Temu. This probably it should have been one of them. This probably should have been one of them. But again, I just wanted to see how they work, how they function. $30, man. I mean, I can always. I mean, I'm gonna send it back and get my money back. I didn't lose anything. If you buy something and it doesn't work, you always see your money back. You don't really lose anything. You know, and most of the time with Temu, if the seller is overseas, they'll be like, just keep the item. We won't refund you back your money, but we'll give you like a Temu credit, however much money. So I would probably get like $30 in Temu credit, which is fine. I mean, whatever. My wife shopped on Temu. It's fine. I couldn't justify spending that kind of money because we're on one income for a family of five. Two, I didn't need it. Third reason of why I got it on Temu because I just wanted to test and see how it works. I will say, I did also use it on my Rain One DJ controller. I have a PAL PA briefcase system that I use when I DJ small gigs. I plug the transmitter into my mixer, and I plug the receivers into my Rain One DJ controller. I had video of it, but my room's kind of junky, and I didn't want to really show that kind of stuff in my video. Above all things, I want to present a good, clean quality audio in both visual and what you hear. So I took that out of the. So I scrapped that video. I know many of us like, well, we all got homes, we all got a room, so that's kind of messy. Yeah, but I didn't want that stuff in the video. So, but it does work with DJ controllers. I will say that I had to tweak the audio on the mixer because when I had the audio, had the audio on like halfways on my Rain One, and the sound kept putting out. It was sounding. It was not sounding. It was distorted. So I had to kind of put the volume low on like two or three on my Rain One, and then actually turn it up on the mixer, which then kept it from being distorted. Is that ideal? No. And the reason it's not ideal is because in most DJing situations, I need to be able to turn up the volume on my DJ controller or down, or I can't. I don't. If I'm over there jamming, people are jamming, I'm not paying attention to what my volume's on because it doesn't really matter. When I use one of the speakers, it doesn't. You don't get a distorted sound. Who's the microphone for? Oh, can I say is it usable? Outside of the fact that it died, I still have the one. So yeah, you can tell I'm using it right now. I would say because here's the thing, guys. And me and my wife have this conversation often. While I like making YouTube reviews and content, and creating content, I think sometimes people actually forget that for as many as people on YouTube who can afford a $400 XLR transmitter and receiver, there's others that can't afford a $30 receiver because they just don't have the means. They're trying to put gas in their car. They're trying to put food on the table for their kids. They don't have the money. So I think that I got this because I was thinking to myself, well, if it does work, it'll actually be great for the small person or the small guy who actually can't afford the expensive one from a notable company, include myself, and will say, you know what, I could just use this. So is it usable for a DJ controller? I would say if you're at home and you're not doing gigs, yes, you could just keep the volume down on your controller and control it from your mixer. That's fine. Is it usable for a podcast for live? No. I mean, if you're using a live podcast, you're not using, anyways, you're probably using a wireless microphone anyways, a real wireless microphone. But if you're at home and you're a small content creator like myself, and you have a small podcast, or you have a podcast in general, but you're at home, could you use these? Yes. Just be aware they do put out a lot of white noises, which is not really an issue as long as you edit as long as you edit your videos with its content creation of your podcast before you post it on YouTube or other platforms you post it on. You won't have an issue with that. If you don't post it, if you don't edit it before you post it, then I wouldn't use this transmitter because it puts out a lot of white noises. I used it yesterday, and I actually tested different volumes because I was like, well, wow, this is a lot of white noise. So first I put it. It comes in the box on like 12. I put it on the max is 15. Noticed the white noise was too loud, so I cut it down, cut it on 10. Noticed the white noise was still too loud, so I cut it on 7. It was still too loud, so from there I went into my mixer and turned the gain down on my mixer, and then the volume of my mixer went down, and the white noise is gone, but now the volume was also kind of low as well. So it's like, for the end of the day, I was like, I can just in post production just put on a noise reduction plug in in post production. So, and there's a part of the audio where I'll actually make sure I don't cut out. I make sure, matter of fact, right now, in this part of the audio we talking right now, I'll actually make sure I don't put on the noise reduction so you can actually hear what it sounds like for yourself. So right now, I hope you're listening to the white noises if you have on headphones, or if you're somewhere. Turn up the volume on your phone real quick so you can actually just hear the white noises this microphone's producing right now. Do you hear that? It's loud. So now I'll put the noise reduction back on. So with the noise reduction on, won't be an issue, won't be a problem. yeah, I think this is probably something for the small guy like myself, those who can't really afford those big, expensive wireless XLR transmitter and receivers. This is probably be wonderful for you. Not really an issue. It does produce a lot of white noises. Is that optimal? Would you want to buy something like that if you had a choice? No. But if you were like, well, I need something like that, I don't have the budget to spend a couple $100. It's me and another person, so $200 out of the question as well. I would say, either whether I would say don't buy it off Temu. I would say probably buy it off Amazon. Amazon, they have some for about 40-ish, 60 something bucks for just for one. But and again, I don't know. Some of those reviews are just mixed. And so one of the things that I've learned when it comes to buying product is depending on what it is, stay with a reputable brand because they're going to ensure that their name, is spoken good of. So they're not going to produce crappy quality for the most part, depending on what it is. So I would say stay with a reputable brand. This Temu one, like I said, the other one, the other receiver that came with the other microphone, it died. So I don't know how long this one's going to last before it goes out. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys this microphone. I just kind of wanted to give you guys this review. XLR dynamic microphone, wireless transmitter. They do come with two for a microphone, and that would because one for the microphone and one that goes on your mixer or your podcast mixer. Right here, I did want you to see that the receivers are hooked up to my podcast mixer. You see right here? Yep. And the microphone's right here. The microphone's right here. And you can see that for yourself. So they are hooked up to my mixer, podcast mixer. This one kind of came with two. So it's a total of four, which would be four items, not four things, but four items. Two transmitters and two receivers. The receivers are the ones you put on your microphone that receives the signal. The one from the mixer, and that's what it is, man. You know, again, definitely in review. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you appreciate it. Till next time, peace.